Hi there, my name is Dr. Stan Ward, and I am a results leader.
You're listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Being a thought leader is easy. Getting results is hard. This show is for the results leader who lives and dies by their results. Here is your host and Chief Results Leader, Jonathan Rivera.
You are listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Welcome to the show. If you are new around here, if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm going to reward your attendance with another amazing interview today. Dr. Stanley Ward joins us, leadership coach, writer, educator, and most importantly, fun fella. We have a great conversation in today's episode on leadership and on avoiding burnout. Let's jump in. Stan, welcome to the show. It has been a long time in the making, brother. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Let's do this. Sounds great.
All right, brother. What book have you given most as a gift?
Yeah, so recently it's been a book by a guy named Brandon Smith. It just came out a couple months ago. It's called The Author versus Editor Dilemma. Now, don't panic. It's not just for English majors. It's actually the idea of helping leaders separate the work they need to be doing at an executive level, helping them with delegation issues and things like that, helping them really focus on the culture in their organizations and the big strategy. And a lot of my clients have found it to be really helpful. And one of the things that attracted me to it is I felt like it was very accessible and addressed a lot of common struggles I saw folks having.
Why is culture so important in a business?
Oh, okay. The glib answer is that whole, what a Peter Drucker culture eats strategy for breakfast thing, right? That's the glib answer. I think there's a lot of things there. I do believe that your culture really is a significant part of your brand, although it may not be as fun as picking out what color scheme you want to go with and how cool your website looks. Culture is basically about how we do things around here. And so if you have a distinctive way that you interact with each other, if you have processes for how you communicate and how you handle conflict, if you have a general mindset about how you treat your customers, that makes a huge difference.
Powerful. And I'm adding that to my reading list. And that was one of my favorite Peter Drucker quotes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yay. We're vibing then, right? We're on the same track, man.
Yeah, I have it written down and I look at it and it's one of my go-tos. So I appreciate that. So,
well, I'll give you this on that. Culture really is what makes it worth showing up for work. There's a lot of people that are stressed out and they're miserable. And a lot of it comes down to culture issues.
Powerful.
And if you don't want to burn out your top performers, you need a culture that helps them thrive.
I want to go to story time now, and I want you to tell us a story of how an apparent failure set you up for later success.
Man, that's good. As a recent one, okay? So actually in January of this year, man, I thought I was on my way to secure a very large coaching contract. And it was going to be one of those deals where I wasn't going to have to look for any more work for a long time. This was going to be awesome. I went through several conversations, everything's go, 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 go. And then it was like, actually, we're going to go a different direction. And it really got me in my head. I was like, oh, no, it's me. They don't like me. What's wrong with me? I'm not fill in the blank, right? And what helped me get out of it, because it was a funk for a while. And what helped me get out of that is another book that I used to give out a lot. The previous one was called Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Chamine. You may have heard of that one. He has this quote about when we have setbacks, one of the best things we can do is say, okay, what is the gift or opportunity here? And so I was finally able to put on the brakes of that tailspin by going, all right, what is the gift or opportunity? And, one, I had gotten some feedback from them on some things that they were a little concerned about and some of my presentation style. I was able to apply it, and that has improved my practice. And two, it made me go back and look at my list of clients I hadn't talked with in years. I started reaching back out to them, and that ended up filling out the work I need. And it's really good to reconnect with these folks and help them go to the next stage of their journey. So it really was a gift, even though at the time I got in a funk just calling out my stuff, man. I really got to second guessing myself.
How did you realize that you were in that funk and you could get out of it?
Oh, gosh. Well, I have been in funks before, right? So I know what like optimal Stan and suboptimal Stan look like. And you talk with successful people all the time. I'm sure there's a lot of folks who have that, right? change starts with awareness, right? So first realizing, okay, I am just not in a good place. In fact, I actually called a friend who's also a coach. He said, yeah, I can just tell my head is not right. I just want you to push back on me on some things. So realizing it, reaching out to other people who had resources that could help me get the plane back on, train back on the track. Planes don't go on tracks. I'm not sure what the plane equivalent is, the air path. And then just applying. Thankfully, I'm grateful that I have the tools I have, because not everybody has that stuff.
What would you say is the most worthwhile investment you have ever made?
Yeah, and again, this is going to sound really glib, and I'm sincere, because you were gracious and sent these questions out beforehand, gave me a chance to think about some of this stuff. And dude, there are good people in the world doing good things. And anytime I invest in them, whether it's money or time, a word of encouragement, I have never regretted it, like never. And this year I turned 50 and I started writing some notes to folks who I appreciate in the world, just to say thanks. And a lot of it's because of people that have invested in me in that same way, just some time, some energy, sometimes some money. And even though I'm very task oriented, I like getting stuff done. The real good stuff, the hard stuff, the stuff that really warms me and helps me sleep at night, it's through the relationships. So I'm glad there's people like you out in the world talking to folks and connecting people. And I mean, right? Like that's where it's at.
Yeah. Tell my wife that. She
Okay. I'll do my best. Yeah. Yeah.
So think back over the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
So I'm going to give you two. And one of them is asking, what is the gift or opportunity? But before I can get at the end of all that, they said, before I deal with stress. I thought, bro, you've got to be kidding me. And sure enough, I was managing to get a lot of things done. It was managing a lot of pressures, but in the process had managed to shut down my digestive tract. And so learning how to get back in touch with my body, how to breathe correctly so everything can relax, just changes everything. I have more energy. I can be more present in conversations. When my head's in the wrong place, I can recognize it now.
Tell me more about this breathing thing. You're not the first person I hear talking about breathing. We all breathe. We were born breathing. What do we need to know about breathing?
Sure. Okay. Let's do a test. You ready?
Okay.
One hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Okay. So just inhale and exhale like you normally would. Which moves more?
My belly.
That's good. That's the kind of breathing you want to do. So under stress, we tend to do a lot of this chest breathing. It's a shallower kind of breathing, especially folks like us that have more sedentary work styles, right? In a chair, you're doing the podcast, I'm doing coaching from the chair. And what happens is essentially, okay, I want to geek out.
Yes, please.
All right. So nervous system. Let's talk nervous system for a minute, right? So you got your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. It's like a switch. You're either in one or the other. Sympathetic nervous system's your fight, flight, or freeze response. It's what we do when we feel that we're under threat, right? It's where we get adrenaline. It's where we get cortisol. I'm not a chemist, but like epinephrine, right? Some of these drugs that our brain produces, these chemicals that move us into action and they make us feel bad to make us do it, right? Okay, so that's one state. The other state's the parasympathetic state. I promise we're getting back to breathing. Parasympathetic state, which is rest, digestion, and healing. Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of society, a lot of the way things work is designed to activate our sympathetic state, fight, flight, or freeze, right? I mean, the news, it's not good news. We're not celebrating puppies on the news, right? Why? Because we want to keep your attention. And the way we get your attention is we make you feel like there's a threat, right? Work, how we motivate folks, a lot of this stuff. So we're constantly activating that fight, flight, or freeze state, which means what's not happening? Rest, digestion, or healing. Okay. If you treated your car like that, how long would it last?
Not long.
Yeah. So what this belly breathing does is it really helps get us back in that parasympathetic state. And it's something that you can do for yourself at any moment in time. And I can tell you from months and years of practicing it, the more I make it a regular routine, the quicker I'm able to reset. And the more I catch myself in that stressed state so I can release the tension, I can get my head back where I'm not in fight, flight, or freeze mode, but my perspective opens back up. I can do the creative thinking. I can do the logical analysis. And I can talk with people without bringing that anxious energy or that fight or flight energy to it.
Well, that was an interesting detour. I like it. So let's have some fun. What are some bad recommendations you hear in your area of expertise?
Oh, man. Well, in my industry, I'll give you a couple, and I hate to call them bad per se. I think the motive is good. And I think they work for some people, but they've not worked for me. So since I do leadership coaching, a lot of folks talk about niche. You got to have your niche. And I definitely see the value in that. What's interesting is for me, I have found more success in focusing on the problems I want to help people solve and then letting the demographics work themselves out. And so for me, that's helping people reduce unnecessary conflict. Some conflict you need to have. Some things are actually worth fighting over, but the other stuff just gets in the way. Like, let's get that off the table. That's just unnecessary friction. You're less efficient when you have friction, right? So 2, we're going to help you avoid burnout. We've got a lot of specialty there. And then 3, helping people create change that sticks, sustainable, positive change. So those are the 3 things that I work on. And then just thankfully been able to connect with people who care about those things and work with them.
That is a fascinating angle about being problem focused. And it's actually something that anybody that studies copywriting would know is you got to focus on the problem. But I like that you put the problem ahead of the niche. That's a great perspective. Thank you for that. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a public service announcement. We're going to get right back into this show, but I wanted to ask you a question. If you have been listening to the show for any amount of time and you've picked up even one single tip, then I need your help. Get the word out. Tell people about resultsleader.fm. Share it on social media, share it on your email, share it anywhere. #ResultsLeaderFM. Now let's jump back into the interview. Now let's talk about results. Why do results matter?
Oh, man. Okay, let's go to psychology again. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is basically that sense that I'm able to do things in the world. I can make choices that have meaningful consequences, or I'm able to control my situation in some way. And people that have high self-efficacy tend to have these better mental states. Low self-efficacy is what goes with things like depression, anxiety, a lot of these, for lack of a better term, negative, more painful emotional and mental states. So if a person is able to get results, they see results. In other words, they have a goal and they're able to make some progress on it, or they're able to create something, that correlates with self-efficacy. So from a mental health perspective, as well as just whatever legacy you want to leave in the world, there have to be results.
Take that, thought leaders.
That's funny. Yeah, if you put on your LinkedIn that you're a thought leader, I'll let you fill in the blank, right?
Too good. In the last 5 years, what new realization has helped you get better results for your clients?
Yeah. Again, I'm a little nerdy. And so I do like ideas, and I got a PhD. And so sometimes I get caught up in theory and feel the need to explain models or whatever, and just not doing that. That's been the most helpful thing.
Being less of a nerd? Okay.
Well, I'm embracing the nerd, but I don't feel the need to explain everything like I did at one time. Like, I don't need to explain all of it to you. Let's just get laser focused. Again, what's the problem? What's the pain point? Okay, here's a thing that I think can help. What do you think?
I dig it. What area of your business would you like better results?
I would like to create more content. I love creating resources for folks that help them. I would love to have a huge library of how-to stuff. And in time I will. It just takes time.
Yeah, what's stopping you?
Well, I need to do other things. I can't just sit around and write all day, right? I mean, you got to have an audience if you're going to have content. I mean, it's great to create content, but if nobody consumes it, you're the tree that falls in the forest and there's nobody around, right? So right now I'm continuing to work on building the audience as well as serving my current clients. That's going to take some time commitment, as well as making sure I don't burn myself out, which means I'm not working all the time. I'm also doing things that recharge the battery.
What results are you most proud of?
So Friday was my 27th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks. I think that, and the fact that I've got 2 really sweet daughters who love me, who love my wife. They talk with us. Even though they're 18 and 21, they still talk with us, right? Like to hang out. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, man. I can dig it. I hope my kid still wants to talk to me when he gets that old.
Yeah.
So good, man. So good. So as we're coming towards the end, I'd like to ask you, what parting thoughts do you have for the results leaders who are out there listening to us right now?
The concept is success metrics. So what you measure tends to be what you improve, and it also tends to be what you get. So make sure you're measuring the right things, the things that are meaningful to you.
How do you know what the right things are?
Yeah, well, this goes back to culture. I'm thinking about like Wells Fargo. They got in trouble a while back, like 2016, somewhere in there, about falsely signing people up for products they didn't order, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What made it sad is not so much that it happened. It's that they had this wonderful, they had this handbook and they talked about how they were going to treat their customers. I mean, they had this culture that was in print that was so positive and so customer focused, right? But the behavior went this totally other direction. My personal assessment is you get what you measure. And so I really think part of it was they were measuring these sales, but they weren't measuring how they got it, right? And I think it came back to bite them in the backside. And I do not mean to, I'm not throwing shade on them. You just get what you measure. And that's a hard thing for leaders because the culture piece is harder to measure. I think it's possible.
For sure.
If you have observable behaviors and you're able to observe them, you can measure it. You can process it. You can see if you're making improvement or falling behind. But if you're just doing numbers, that doesn't tell you anything about your culture.
I love that, man, because we redid our operating system in our business and we started with the culture and now we're hiring, we're doing company reviews and our scorecard based on culture. So even though it seems like maybe it's not measurable, like you said, they're measuring sales, but not how they got them, and it doesn't line up.
Yeah, I would say it's both how many units you sell and how you sell them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that our listeners are going to want way, way more content from you. Where can they get it?
You're too good. Yeah, so coachingforinfluence.com is my website, and just all spelled out CoachingForinfluence, coachingforinfluence.com. I would encourage them also, coachingforinfluence.com/burnout. I've got a free PDF there that can help them prevent burnout. It'll help them actually with a formula to prevent it.
And how to breathe to get it.
That's part of it. Step one.
Oh man, too good. I could keep going forever. There's things I really wanted to dig into there, but you've been so gracious with us, Stan. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Results Leaders, for tuning in. Another episode is in the can. That is a wrap for another edition of ResultsLeader.fm. If you are out there getting results for your clients and you want to be featured on the show, go to ResultsLeader.fm now and apply to be on the show. And if you love what you're hearing, share the show, give us a rating and review, do anything to help us get the message out there. Thought leadership is easy, but results leadership is hard. We'll catch you on the next one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.